In Aurora, Illinois, on May 11, 2011, 6-year-old Timothy James Pitzen was dropped off at school by his father, James Pitzen. Shortly after 8 a.m., Timothy's mother, Amy Fry Pitzen, came to pick the boy up and told the school that there was a family emergency. Later that day, James Pitzen arrived at Greenman Elementary School to pick up his son, but was told that his son had been checked out of class not long after he was dropped off. They soon discovered that Timothy had left with his mother, so James called her and asked her to inform him on the situation and their whereabouts, but he got no response. At first, he assumed she was mad at him about something, so he decided to give her time to cool off. But when he heard nothing by the next morning, he alerted the police that Timothy and Amy were missing. Amy Pitzen eventually called several members of her family, including her mother, who she told, "We're fine. We'll be home in a day or two. I just need some time to figure out and try to think about how to approach this." Instead of calling James, Amy called his brother, and at one point in the conversation she said, "Timothy is fine. Timothy belongs to me. Timothy and I will be fine. Timothy is safe." During the phone calls, Timothy could be heard in the background and even talked to one relative on the phone. His family claims the 6-year-old did not seem troubled by the situation. Around 12:30 p.m. on May 14, 2011, a maid at the Rockford Inn in Rockford, Illinois, discovered Amy Pitzen's dead body in the bathroom of her motel room. After taking a deadly dose of antihistamines, she slit her throat with a knife and also slit her wrists by cutting her arms lengthwise. Timothy, however, was nowhere to be found. In a suicide note left at the scene, Amy apologized for the mess she created and said that Timothy was safe with people that loved him and he would never be found. In a different letter sent to her mother, Amy writes, "I've taken him somewhere safe. He will be well cared for and he says that he loves you. Please know that there is nothing you could have said or done that would have changed my mind." The investigation revealed that after picking Timothy up shortly after 8 a.m., the two drove to an auto repair shop where Amy dropped her SUV off for repairs. One of the employees then took Amy and Timothy to the Brookfield Zoo. They returned to retrieve their vehicle around 3 p.m. and then drove to the Key Lime Cove Resort in Gurnee, Illinois. They were spotted the next day on security camera footage at the Kalahari Resort in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. Around 1:30 p.m. on May 13th, Amy called her family and told them not to worry. Amy's cell phone signal disappears shortly after this call, and she does not appear publicly until around 7:30 p.m. when the camera at a dollar store recorded Pitzen buying paper, a pen, and some envelopes. This leaves 120 miles and a 6-hour window between Wisconsin Dells and Rockford, Illinois. Police never recovered Timothy's backpack, toothpaste, toys, clothing, and car seat, leaving some to speculate that Amy had given her son away to unknown people. However, the car seat was later found at the grandmother's house. Amy's cell phone, some of her clothing, and an iPass device for her car were also missing. Bloodstains belonging to Timothy were found in the back seat of Amy's SUV, but police could not figure out when the blood was placed there. One of Timothy's relatives claimed the bloodstain was from a nosebleed that happened 12 to 18 months before his disappearance. The iPass device revealed that Amy had taken 2 unexplained trips to the area that Timothy went missing in February and March of 2011. This led authorities to believe that Amy had been planning her son's disappearance for quite some time. While Amy's suicide note claims the boy was safe with people who loved him, many speculate that she actually killed Timothy in an act of revenge or desperation while in a psychotic state. Some claim certain comments she made during her last days, such as "Timothy belongs to me," show she was in a vindictive mindset, most likely brought on by her failing marriage and unstable mental condition. There's also the fact that she excluded Timothy's father from all letters and phone calls in those final days. This brings up the theory that Amy made up the story about Timothy being safe so his family would remain hopeful in finding him and never have closure. Amy had a history of depression issues and previously attempted suicide by taking sleeping pills and sitting on the side of a cliff that she eventually fell off after passing out. Statistics show that a large amount of people who kill their own children do it for reasons of revenge during separation in a relationship, or because they convince themselves that death is a better outcome for their child. Police found dirt, tall grass, and weeds under the rear bumper of Amy's SUV. but they could not place the area it originated from. They believe this unknown area may be where Timothy was given away or possibly murdered. In 2013, Amy Pitzen's phone was discovered near the side of the road on Route 78. Unfortunately, it didn't contain any information about Timothy's disappearance. Timothy's family doesn't believe Amy would hurt the son she loved more than anything, and they hope that one day, Timothy will return home so they can be a family again.